Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Liz. Come on in. Let us know that you can hear us. I have my special guest, Miss Katjuana Ragland, out here tonight. So it is going to be some good tea, you all. So come on in. Like I said, shout out. Let us know where you're coming from. So I know you can hear us. There's no technical difficulties. And share. Invite your friends. Invite your followers. Shout out to Periscope and YouTube, where we are going live as well also on Facebook. Shout out to all of our Facebook friends and family out there. Hope everybody's having an amazing Monday. I know Mondays are always rough, but yet they can still be good, right? I hope you're all ready for this week. It is Thanksgiving week. Everybody's getting ready to cook those big meals and enjoy friends and family during this holiday season. But I wanted to give our tea time announcements before we get started tonight. Next week, we have another amazing author, who will be joining me next week, Miss Audrey Brown, who is an author of two books. One is called Double Cross, Payback is a Bee. I finished this book in one night, y'all. It was a juicy book. She is a novel writer. So if you're thinking it's about like informational or church or anything like that, that ain't happening, okay? These are those spicy, good time. If you need a TV break, get a break from the internet, these are some good books. And I'm yet still reading on this one, and it's still juicy too. It's called Revenge is Bittersweet. So this is her new recent one. You can follow her and hit her up in the DMs to order your copies. You can get both copies, I know, for $25. I'm not sure how much they are separately, but I will put that in the post here later this week so you all can be ready for tea time next week. So stay tuned for her next week. And then the first week of December, y'all, December is coming. I didn't think we was going to make it. Lord Jesus, we almost out this year, okay? We are almost out. But December 7th, I want you all to let me know. We may do game night or I may do something else, but let me know what you all would like to see on December 7th. That's the first weekend, or first Monday in December. But December 14th, I have my good friend, Miss Chauncey Clark, who also does live faith inspirationals on Monday nights, late Monday nights, and we're going to come and talk together as we, like I said, are finishing out this year. God is raising up his daughters and speaking to them. And so our topic is, what do you hear? What have you been hearing this year? Has God been telling you? And we're going to talk about those things that God has put on our hearts and God has revealed to us. So I'm excited to talk with her about that. December 21st, it won't be a total live tea time, but I'm going to do a special recording with my family, my aunt and my cousins, my mom and my sisters. We are going to show you how we do our Christmas with our Christmas candy and just talk, girl talk, just ask those questions, motherhood, daughterhood, all of that, holidays. So maybe play a couple games. So that will be going live. The video will go live on the 21st, so stay tuned for that. And then on the 28th, I have my good friend, Miss Tina Marie, who will be joining me. She is a businesswoman and owns a nonprofit organization helping young children who have been through trauma. So it is going to be a good final tea time for 2020 to end on. So stay tuned for those announcements to come. But shout out to Miss Rhoda. How are you tonight, ma'am? And to all you viewers, like I said, get your tea. I hope y'all got your tea. I got my water tonight. But I'm so excited to have my guest tonight, Miss Katjuana. I call her Kat, y'all. Okay, that's why you probably are like, she's struggling with her name, because I just call her Kat. All right. So, but she is the author of this amazing book called God Chose Me. If you all were able to get it before tea time, I'm sure you are already knowing and seeing the great testimony that God has raised her up in. I know she is been in love with God since I met her. I know that for sure. And we've been in this thing for a minute, just a little bit. She lives in, is it Illinois now or Wisconsin?
Listen, it's Illinois/Wisconsin, but I'm just
Oh,
gonna say Wisconsin for sure.
okay, okay. She in between places. That's fine. It's fine. But she's always been a great inspiration. We met through our church council. Her brother is hilarious as well. Shout out to my big brother, Walter, as which is her brother as well. Naturally, though. I have to tell you a funny story. Your brother came to our relationship conference, and he was helping the brothers, adapt in their manlyhood. But then he taught us singles, and he was telling us how, if you haven't been dating anybody and God hasn't blessed you with a spouse, that you may have the gift of oh, here he comes right on. he said you may have the gift of singleness, and I was like, Jesus, and I hadn't dated anybody. Obviously, it wasn't with nobody, and I was like, so Lord, you're telling me I'm going to be single for the rest of my life? Like, oh my God. So I always give. I walked up to him. I was like, do you really think God has given me the gift of singleness? He's like, no, calm down. You're going to be all right. It's going to be fine. And so I always mess with him. So shout out to Pastor Ragland now. He is a pastor all the
Yes,
way in
yes.
Wisconsin. But enough of my jabbering. Go ahead, ma'am. Introduce yourself to the people. Let them know a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, as you already announced, my name is Kawana. I'm a mother of two. I have a 19-year-old who's off in college. I'm so excited for him and his new journey in life.
Yay.
Let's see. I don't know where to begin. I love life, but most of all, I love the Lord.
Yeah.
And, just talking about him and just knowing where he brought me from is exciting, is
Yeah.
amazing. I'm always in awe with what he's going to do for me and in my life. Um, I love working with children, not children, let me rephrase this, excuse me. I love working with the youth.
Yes.
And I love to motivate. I love to encourage women, especially single women, single mothers, who's having so many hardships and just going through life day to day. I love it. I enjoy it. But as you said, I just found a true love of mine, and that is writing.
Awesome.
And I haven't put the pen down yet because I found my voice. And so I'm excited about that.
That's
It's
awesome.
it's amazing when you find something that you truly enjoy and you
Mhm.
have a message and you can deliver it
Right.
in your own unique way. And that's what I love. That's who I
Awesome.
am. I'm just so excited about that
Yes.
journey. And um it's fun. It's fun. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a
I
long
bet. I bet.
I am gonna say this, everyone. I'm a crier, so if the tears fall, don't
Y'all,
think
this
I'm
it's
sad. It's
fine.
just I'm
It's
just an emotional
fine. We,
person.
we criers too. So tonight you all may want to get just not your tea, but get you a little Kleenex or something too. But it is definitely going to be, like I said, it's going to be a good one. And she is so right. Her gifting is coming through, and you will definitely pick it up when you read this book. I was talking to her last night and telling her how amazing she did on this book, and how much it encouraged me, inspired me, and like I said, had me in tears. We're gonna give pieces tonight, but you all got to get your own book, okay? Y'all got to get your own copy, which I'm gonna put that information here while we are talking. But so, what inspired you to write this book, God Chose Me?
Oh wow! So you came with the hard question first. You
Right,
didn't take the punches
we
first,
go, we
and
do
so
see here.
and
We do see here.
what inspired me to write this book? Um, I had just lost my son 6 months before I started writing the book. Um, this book is dedicated to my son Jason. For those who have not read it, um, and my best friend called me and she says to me, "I'm mad that you're not mad." And I said, "What?" And she's like, "I'm mad that you're not mad." And I said, "I don't understand what you're saying to me." And she's like,
Mm.
"I'm mad because you're not mad at God." And I said, "I have no reason to be mad at God." And in
Wow.
the process of me explaining to her why I'm not mad at God, God gave me a memory and a memory of a vision that I had
Mm.
15 years ago. And when
Wow.
I got off the phone with her, I said, "Wow, thank you." I said,
Mm.
"Thank you, Lord, for bringing that memory back to me." And it made me thank him even more because he gave me 15 more years with my son. Um, to know that God gave me something 15 years ago and
Mm.
it came to pass at that time
Mm.
was like, okay, so all of the things that you've shown me, I had to sit back and reflect on all the things that the Lord had shown me
Mm.
and say, He was showing me things that was preparing me for this moment. He's
Okay, so
giving
I'm
me
gonna stop you
things.
right there because that's gonna be something we need to talk and we need to address. So, like she said, God showed her things in this process to lead her up to what you'll find out in the book. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that, all right? And so, and I love the title "God Chose Me" because God has chosen all of us, right? And you start by talking about your gift and um, I I was so, like I said, I was so inspired because I want you to share with everybody what is your gifting. What did God call you to?
Wow. Okay, so for me, He gave me the gift of visions.
Wow.
Um, in dreams, I see things sometimes before they happen, and they come to me in a vision, a dream, um, and I hear, the Lord speaks to me. So to have a gift like that, for me, pretty scary. I don't
Mhm.
know about everybody else, but it kind of shook me.
Listen.
It was like, yeah, am I losing it, or is someone really
Right,
talking to me?
right.
Um, but it is a gift that I couldn't run from,
Mm.
and everybody wouldn't accept what I had to say. Um, so he gave me a way to say it, and so my what
It's all right. Take your time.
gift is, just a gift of vision and dreams, and I'm able to accept it now.
And that's, like I said, I told her last night even too when we were talking, I was like, I commend you because I too, the Lord deals with me in dreams. And I don't know how many of you out there have like a prophetic visionary or seers or dreamers as well, that God speaks to you. And a lot of times, like she said, we don't know how to express ourselves or tell other people without sounding crazy or thinking we're crazy. um, but it can be a struggle to just accept the gift. And so I commended her for just being able to put that out there. But also, like I said, I feel like that's where the title of the book like really came from, is that you accepted the unique gift that God gave you, and how it took you through such an amazing process of his glory and his anointing and all of that. But what helped you to grow the confidence? Was it just the rapidness of him continuously showing you visions, or did you just one day just like say, you know what, forget it, I don't care what anybody says, I'm just gonna walk in this gift? Like, what gave you the confidence?
Um, I think when the Lord really showed me His love for me,
Wow.
made me realize why he chose me to have
Mm.
that gift. God, his love
It's real.
brings a whole different understanding to your life.
Mm.
The way you see things, the way you look at things, it changed your whole vision.
Mm.
Um, and to acknowledge the gift that he gave me and be able to say, okay, I can't run from it. I'm here to accept what he's given me and stand in it, to stand in your gift, to stand strong in it and don't be wavery with your faith. And don't let anyone tell you that it's not true or um, yeah, okay, you're crazy. You
Right.
know, to me, that was so important to me, especially when it was something that I didn't want. Um,
Mm.
it wasn't something I wanted. I didn't,
Right.
want to be like my brother. I didn't want to be like my
Yeah.
mother. I didn't want to be like my aunts or my grandmother and my grandfather. I wanted to be Kawana. I wanted to sit over here in the corner at the
Right.
church. I go to church when I feel like it. I'll pay my tithes, but I'm just gonna go when I feel like it.
Right.
But not to be used by the Lord. And when He showed me His true love for me, when He
Mm.
covered me, when no one else knew what I was going through,
Mm.
and He brought me out. He's still bringing me out.
Mm.
That's when I knew I couldn't let go of His unconditional love.
Wow, that whew, child, listen. That in itself is so real. Is that I think God's love can make you do anything,
Yeah,
even if you didn't want to, even if you didn't understand, if you I don't care how bad you felt like you failed in life or you don't feel like you hit the mark with God, his love just like I mean it's we're stumbling over words because we can't explain it.
right.
Like I said, I'm over here stuttering like I don't know how to it's like you just want to rip your heart out and just give everybody a piece because you don't know how to explain this touch, this love that God has for each and every person.
Yes.
And that's what I loved about the beginning of your book. Like I said, you as you were sharing with us your gifting and in how you were trying to establish yourself in that or understand it, I should say, more or less.
Mhm.
Um, you began to shift into that love of God and that how his love began to cover you and guide you and give you even a deeper understanding. So in that process of getting to his fullness of his love, what were some things that you had to deal with?
I dealt with loss,
Mm.
um, confusion. I even tried the alcohol, thing, and it didn't work. Trying to find love on my own. Um,
Man.
Man, that right there, just trying to find it, trying to find out who you are, going down different paths in life and realizing, yep, that's not for me. I don't fit in. Why is that? Because I was never meant to be in those situations. I was never meant to fit in that way. And I could remember one of the things I remember is after I lost my mom, that that detoured me a little bit, but it brought me back to the Lord because he said to me, I was driving, and I think it was a time when me and my best friend, we would get up at on Saturday mornings and on Sundays and say, "Oh, we're going to go to church. We're going to go to church," and we didn't make it to church. We were at the bar, and drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning, mimosas. Like, yeah, we're living it up, and when I got in my car that one morning, something said, "What are you doing?"
And I'm like, what am I doing? Who's talking to me? I'm intoxicated at this point. But something was like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I thought you told me you wouldn't become an alcoholic. And I
Mhm.
was like, wow. And I was getting out the car and I just started stumbling around looking like, who talking? Somebody's talking to me. I had to actually get back in my car and I cried all the way home. And that's the day that I realized that it was only God, and I stopped drinking. And
Wow.
that was my first time to ever stop. I just stopped drinking cold blooded. The next Sunday when I got up, I actually went to church. Uh,
Okay. That goes back to my statement. Like I said, God's love will make you do anything and everything. Like it will make
mhm.
you drop whatever you were dealing with, whatever you were trying to fill a void. And I truly believe that people do that. Like I've done that myself. I've tried alcohol myself. I've tried to do it with food even and other things. Is that we try to fill a void because we don't want to deal with this confusion. We don't know who to talk to because it doesn't seem like God's responding in a way that He should, and you're frustrated, so you just try to numb that whole confusion and
Yes,
so you're,
yes,
you're you're using all these things and even when it comes to relationships we find ourselves just accepting anything. They
hmm.
look decent and they say hi. Okay, this is a
Okay,
deal.
how you doing? What's up? Let's
This is a
do it.
deal. Let's ride this out. Let's see what happens. And good and well that this is not going to end well. So, like I said, that love thing is so true, and I'm sure. I mean, a lot of the viewers are commenting like, yes, the love, like God's love is. I mean, and it's so. I mean, like I said, there's no words for it, but to know. That those experiences that you're going through were to help others, to stop them from going out themselves. So, I mean, if anybody hears this tonight, hear her testimony to see that you don't have to keep drinking. You don't have to find love in other places, that
No.
you just you gotta stay committed and or try God yourself, try him for yourself. So after you gave up the whole drinking and went to church, so what happened then? Like what's next?
Look, what's next, right? So
What's next?
look, but then what happens is everything starts to fall in order. You become more your life become more order. There's discipline in your life now. You have a little more structure. You have a hold on to things, and then you begin to watch things clear up in your life. And even though some of the friends fade away, it's okay because God is filling you with other things and other people that's going to come in your life, and you begin to work in the church, and you're beginning to serve, and you're beginning to witness, and so those things take precedence in your life. And you don't look at the things that you left behind. Sometimes some people do, but for me, maybe I did look back a couple of times because I wanted someone else to tag along on this journey with me. And, oh, come on, friend, let's go. And, but then you realize, guess what? They're not fit for this journey.
Mm,
They can't go with you. So you begin to detach yourself from other people as well.
yeah.
So I think my faith became stronger. And then I did get a little weary. And was like, okay, God is not hearing me anymore, because we do get to that place where we feel like God is not hearing us anymore. And
Mm.
I got there and I felt like, okay, I didn't get a husband yet. Oh my gosh. You know, oh my God, I'm 33. I don't have a husband. And,
She has a husband. I don't have a husband.
right. Like, oh my God. Now what, Lord? What do I want? And so when God's still tugging at you, like, okay, I need you to do this over here. Stop worrying about the husband, but I need you to do this. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I told you I didn't want to serve you. And I made a plan for my life. My plan was I was going to be married. Then I'll serve you, Lord, fully. Then I'll do what you asked me to do. Then I'll serve. No, 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 no.
It doesn't
It
work.
doesn't work like that.
It
You
doesn't
can't
work
make
that
those plans for your life. And so here I am. I'm 39 and I'm still single.
way. See. But I mean, but that's, I think we all struggle with that, that we think that we can make our plans and fit God in, when
Yes.
it's the opposite uh, way. You have to get into God, and then all the things come to Him or come and are added. Because what does it say? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all
Yes.
these things will be added unto you. And so, and He has the time and the place for everything. So, it's not to say that He doesn't want to do this, but like you said, there's purpose. There's a choosing in you that,
Yes.
that He has something for you to do and to experience.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but go ahead, keep talking. So,
No, no, you're fine. You're fine because that is what it is. It's like, he has a purpose for you. And when you begin to acknowledge and accept it, that it's even better, when we accept what God has for us. And I was tiptoeing, oh, I'll go outside, I'll do this, okay, I'll work with the youth, I'll go over here and do that. And then, my job took precedence and pulled me a little bit away from church even more. And then when my son got sick, I got angry. I got angry with God. And it was his senior year in high school, and this was his year to be the super football star. And I'm cheering, I'm mama, team
right,
mom over here.
right.
Right? That's my job, and I'm gonna be there for him. And then he had his accident, and I'm like, okay, God's gonna heal. He got him covered. And then he started having seizures, and I'm like, okay, but that's okay because people live with seizures. People, they can make it. They can still live normal lives. And so college, time for college, and he wanted to go play football in college. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm scratching my head. He wants to go away to college, and he had a couple more seizures. And I'm like, okay, I don't know about this. But even in that process, even in that, dreading, trying to make a decision, um God was still there. I began to open my Bible a little bit more. I began to study more. I began to seek Him a little bit more than I used to. Um, and at this time, I think He was still just preparing me a little bit more for my next journey. Um, and I'm like, why were you giving me this, Lord? And why are you talking to me so much now? Because all of a sudden, He just started talking to me. So I began to say, okay, He's pushing me. So now I have to stand still. Now I have to do what He's asking me to do.
Okay,
And
so I want to ask you about that, because I'm going to give a little bit away and from the
okay,
book, because because I think this is the part what you're talking about, is that, like you said, God began to speak a little bit more, but He was waking you up at what time? Like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning,
yes,
and you
yes.
were obedient to that. Like, how was that for you? Like, was it a struggle some days? Was it not? Like, were you just like, okay, we're here. This is what we're doing now, God?
You know what? And I was, well, let me tell you, because funny story about that. My sister Catrice was taught me and her were talking, and she was like, I get up at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock every morning and pray. And I was like, so what?
Right, whatever. Yeah,
Like,
no,
who does that? Who gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning and pray? And I'm like, oh, okay, so let me try this. And so I'm like, I'm up at like 6 o'clock anyway on the phone. So 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, let me pray. And so I began to pray, and I began to listen to my music, and just throwing on all worship music and praying and talking to the Lord. And I'm like, okay, it was taking me day by day how surprised I was to get up and still go to work and still have a great attitude. And, my bedtime was at 9 o'clock, but, still, I was still energetic and found that energy that I needed to press on for the rest of the day. So I think that prayer, that 1 hour prayer for me was great. I think that helped me along the way. Um, I think it just kept me rooted in the Lord. It kept my mind focused. And again, I mean, the Lord was shaking my life at
wow.
this point in at this point in time. Um, I just, I can remember waking up one morning, and I started reading Acts 12. And I'm like, why am I reading Acts 12? And I started to research who Peter, and I'm like, oh, I think I like, because I think I say I call him Cousin Peter. I was like, I like Cousin Peter.
I think everybody can vibe with Peter a little bit. Just a little
I was like,
bit.
okay, me and Peter see eye to eye,
He
Peter
understands
prays a
us.
little bit,
Those in the church, yes. He understands our spirit.
right, I'm like, okay, Peter, okay, I like you, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I call my brother and I'm like, Walter, who is Peter? And and talk to me more about Peter. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna call you back. But he didn't call me back, but I didn't need him to call me back because the Lord was telling me and dealing with me at that time. And pick up your word, Kawana, more. Read for yourself. You don't have to call anybody because I'm going to give you all the answers that you need. And he did. He gave me all the answers that I needed. And I didn't have to rely on Walter. I call my sisters and be like, well, what this mean? And what this mean? But even in the midst of that, God sent me to another Bible study class. And I'm like, okay, Thursday nights. Okay, I got a Thursday night Bible class. Then I got to be there on Friday. And then we have Sunday school. So I'm like,
What is
Lord
going
told
on?
me it'd be too much.
What is really going on here?
Right, what is really going on? And so, I guess that year God planted my feet. And it was planted and I couldn't move them. But that was me acknowledging the calling on my life and accepting who I was in Christ. And that to me got me to this point now.
Wow.
It helped me write my book and deal with the loss of my 19-year-old at the time. And so that meant the world to me to be able to stand strong. Peter helped me get.
Yes. No, Peter. He doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. But no, that's I mean, that's so real. And like I said, I hope you all are really listening to this. I hope you are sharing this tonight because this is so powerful in itself. Because when you said that you tried to call everybody and no one was helping you, or they'd be like, I'll call you back, and God forced you to do it yourself. I think that is a crucial thing. And I think that's even a wake up call. And I hope those who are struggling in that area where you've been encrypting yourself to lean on other people's knowledge and wisdom, that you will actually take a leap of faith and do it yourself. Because after you started doing it yourself, Kat, how did you feel? Did you feel like, oh, I got this? Like I'm so much.
Yes, I felt like a champion. Like, okay, what's next? I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I was even more hungrier. I was just so hungry for His word. I wanted so much more than what was being given. I just was like, okay, Bishop was like, you need to get the Spirit of life. I'm like, get the Spirit. That Bible. Now I'm cheap, okay? I'm like, that Bible costs $35. $35. Oh, Jesus. But I had to get it because it was what I wanted. And I've learned that we spend on what we need and what we want, and that was such a want for me. So when you have the desire to move on into the Lord, you're going to race for it. You're going to go for it because you're hungry for it. It's like I'm a kid after a piece of cake. I'm this kid, like, give me that, give me, and I want more and more and more. Feed me, Lord. And so that's where I was. I needed more of you. I needed more.
No, that's so good. And because it's like when somebody keeps feeding you the same thing, you'll just keep eating the same thing. But until you decide to get in the kitchen yourself and prepare it yourself, you're not going to get anything different. And so when you did, you're like, hey, this is something. Let me have this. Let me try this.
Let me try. Look, Bishop, what this mean? Walter, what this? And I'm just like, look, like it just feels good to gain. And and it's that gain that we're looking for. It's that we're feeling that emptiness, we're feeling that void. So when you're being filled with the Lord, and that void is closing, and so you just want more and more and more. It's like I just have to have it. Let me just sit in the midst of it. Let me just stand here and wait for the Lord to pour down His love on me. Let me just acknowledge Him and just, oh my goodness, His presence is great, and that's what you want. You want that.
It is. And I kid you not, like there is nothing like, I mean, I know it's a song, but seriously, there is nothing like the presence of the Lord. Like, I mean, you can get lost in it, and it doesn't take long. Like, as long as you begin to just be aware of His presence, aware of
Yeah.
who He is, and just speak well of Him,
Hmm.
you will feel Him come and just sit on you and speak to you and just blow your whole mind. Just,
Ooh,
I mean,
we were just
and
talking about that. Yeah.
like, it will blow your whole mind, and you feel a high, you feel so energetic, and that's something a vitamin can't give you, that's something a drug, an alcohol drink can't give you, and you don't have to even feel an after effect, but even greater.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing thing, and which leads me to this. I highlighted a quote I wanted to talk about because I
Okay.
thought it was so powerful. um, it's on page 27. It says, "From them, I've learned as you grow in life, friendships and happiness will find you." And I thought that was so powerful that you learned, you said you in life that as you grow, friendships and happiness though will find you. And how how did you get to that place that you had to learn that you knew that you can't create your own happiness, that you can't force people to be your friends, that it's going to come and find you, like everything, like you said earlier, everything's going to find its rightful place. So when did you begin to allow it to start growing and take its place? Like,
When I stopped worrying about it.
okay, come on now. Well, drop the mic. There
When
we go.
when I stopped worrying about it,
Wow.
I wanted friends. I wanted love. I wanted happiness. But then, you have to step back and say, what does happiness look like?
That's so true. Wow. That's so,
Is Do I make myself happy? In order to get happiness, I need to make myself happy. Do I love myself enough to be happy?
mm,
So happiness comes when you realize who you are and
mm.
accept the fact that you're this. And I'll tell you right now, Liz, I'm this little lame nerdy girl. Like, I'm just lame,
Girl,
nerdy, and and a little weird, okay? Um
you are fine. I'm from South Dakota. You are fine.
but and I limit myself to certain people, because I'm a lover. I love people. I'm a giver. I'll give to you. I'll do it. If I have it, here you go. Let me help you. I'm a helper. That's who I am. But people take so much of your energy away. And you
Ooh,
can lose yourself in giving. You can lose yourself in helping others.
mm,
And that was important to me because I was like, I feel lost. I feel like I don't have enough friends, or I feel like, I'm not happy. Well, Kawana, what's going to make you happy? Finding out who I am, and maybe I need to make myself happy. And my son told me that too. He was like, "You always doing for other people, and take some time for yourself, mom, and do what makes you happy." And I was like, "Whatever. I'm the mother. You shut up talking to
right,
me." You
right.
know, but my son, he was just so not he was just so knowledgeable at that age. And when he told me that, he said, "Mom, I need you to be happy. I need you to do what makes you happy." And I'm like, hmm,
Now
what?
this is a question. Like, you're like, wait, what is that?
Right, what is happiness? Because maybe it's not child no more. Maybe it's spending too much
Okay.
getting in
Okay.
y'all business, and
Mhm.
not fulfilling my happiness. And I think that's so important, to do what makes you happy and don't worry about everything else, because again, everything else is going to fall into place once you get yourself in order.
Mhm. And that's so true. And I love how you, even like I said, you question yourself to say, what is happiness? What is it? Because sometimes we get in the ways of life, sometimes
Mhm.
in the ways of even traditional churchy, motions, and we just think, okay, I give, I do this, I serve, and we just keep it moving. And but there's no authenticness to it. There's no purpose to it. There's no substance. There we go. That's the word I'm trying to find.
Right,
There's
right, right.
sense to it, that you're just, like I said, you're acting out of emotion. And then, like you said, when your son challenged you to start doing for you, you're like, okay, well, what does that even look like? Like, God,
Yeah.
how do I do that? And even like, and like I said, I loved how you said not only happiness, but in friendships.
Yes.
Friendships are so hard, to balance, to maintain,
Hmm.
to figure out if they're worth hanging on to, and not. What has been your process as far as like trying to, manage those, or deal with different types of difficult relationships or friendships, I should say? How do you know when the season's over? How do you know?
I don't know. Okay, Liz. Let me stop you right there. I truly, I don't know when the season is over. But this is what happens to me. I get tired of you and get bored, and
Mm,
then I'll be like, okay, I'm through with you. I'm not answering. Okay, she don't want nothing, and I'll be looking at the phone like, oh, she don't want nothing this week. Okay, doo doo doo. And I,
right, right. If there ain't no questions, good, right?
I'm like, she don't want nothing. But no, one of the processes, and I think that a lot of people don't consider is I ask the okay, I always ask the Lord why this person is coming in my life.
Mm,
What do they want?
mm,
What do they need? Um, and maybe I won't get an answer right away, maybe I will, but I'm still that kind person. I'm still, I will indulge in a conversation with you, because I'll show you the love, because that's who I am. I want to respect people and treat people the way I would like to be treated. But what I'm learning is I don't have to always be available to you. I don't always have to pick up that phone. I don't always have to run to your rescue. And this is something that comes in time, because I was the type of person like, oh, let me go help her, she needs her help, but it's draining. And
mm,
when I needed the help, no
right.
one was there. So now it's like, okay, now I understand that you can't give your all to people, because if you give your all, you're
You're
exhausted.
done.
You're
Yeah,
done.
exactly. You're out. You're
You're,
out of
you're
commission.
right. You're depleted. So I have, and to be honest, I have three great friends outside of my family. I have three great friends. My sisters are like one of my bestest. They're my biggest supporters. Somebody don't get mad tonight if I say this, but my
Right.
you know, my one of I have yep, my best friend is my one of my best friends is my brother. Walter is an amazing big brother, not only big brother but a good friend. My sister, she's an amazing sister, but a great friend. My other sisters, just it's just like here's this family that has a love and a bond that's so tight. um do you need anybody else in your circle? And this is because we are a close knit family. And it's like I don't really need a lot of friends because they're always there. But it is hard, and me and my cousin was just talking about it, and she was like, "When I lost all my friends, but God gave me more friends, but they're not my friendship circle is not as big as it used to be, but it's just right for me because
Mhm.
God gave me the right individuals to be in my life." And I think that's what we need to always pray for, and wait for God to place those people in our lives, because He placed them in our lives.
Right. No, and I mean, and because that goes back to your statement that you had to learn and grow to that place. You learn to figure out, okay, God, I'm going to run these people by you.
Yes.
Is this a good connection? Is it a divine connection? Because I know sometimes people do. They come in for a season. They can be an assignment. You're supposed to help them see something, or do something, and then you keep it moving, and you
Right.
have to learn to break that attachment. Because one thing I know I've learned in this growing process is that if you don't let go, you start decaying, you start breaking, you start not growing yourself. and
Mhm.
and and but it's that moment, and we were talking about this last night, is that after you've let go, God shows and manifests Himself to see, like, see, if you would
Yes.
have just listened.
Right. So if you just listen to me and do what I ask you to do, maybe you will be okay. But no, Mm-mm. You got your own mind.
You got your own agenda out here, okay? Let me know when you want me in it.
Right.
But that, I mean, and so I just say to those who may be praying about certain friendships or struggling, like, because I believe sometimes God will even send turmoil in between a friendship, or connection sometimes to try to break you, to try to get your attention, to say, hey, listen, you can either do this the right way or we can do this another way.
Yes.
Because that person is not for you, nor are they going to help you grow to your purpose, to your calling. I think that is so important, that you are not connected to people that will jeopardize your calling, because that's what's that's what's more important. I don't care. Go ahead, sis.
No, no, no. I'm just agreeing with you because you just took it, because that's what that it is so true, because we have so many negative people, and they will, I call them negative Nancy's, and they
Wow.
will pull you down just as well as they are just going down to the you like, what is going on? What is wrong with me? Why am I feeling this way? Because you let negative Nancy pull you right on down that hole with you. You
Right.
know what I mean? Just
And my mentor says all the time, like, you dumb yourself down. And we do, we tend to not want to, like I said, we stop growing, and then we dumb down because we don't want them to feel left out. We don't want them to feel as though they don't understand, or we're getting rid of them, or whatever the case may be. But bump that. Sorry, I'm just gonna be blunt, but bump
okay,
that.
like boop, no.
Because to be honest, I mean, when you really look at it, what are you going to tell God on Judgment Day? Oh, Nancy wanted me to have coffee with her, so I decided not to go to the prayer meeting. Like, no, like, you can't. God's going to be like, well, you and Nancy have a good time in hell. Like,
Right. Y'all be good together. Did you like the coffee down there with
right? Like,
Nancy?
hope it's hot enough. Hope it's hot enough,
Right, right.
and it's not to be mean to people, because they have their own journey too, right? Like,
Mhm. Yes, yes,
there's nothing wrong with praying for people, but doesn't mean you have to stay connected to people.
that's right.
That's the power of prayer, is that God does that. He hears
Mhm.
your petition, he hears your cry, and he will send the right people to move for them, just like he will send the right people to move for you. So, man, I don't want to give too much more of the book away, but
It's okay. But
um,
you know what? The good thing about it is we can give the book away, but they won't get the real meaning behind the book if you don't read it. You gotta read the
you
book.
got to, I promise you all, you have to read the book. And just to let you all know, we are going to give a copy away tonight.
Yes.
Somebody will get blessed with a copy of the book tonight. So we'll do that here closer to the end. But I'm telling you, as you are here on this live, just probably get in the preview. But once you get the copy and you read it for yourself, you will feel her testimony of
Yes.
everything that she went through. So how did you, I wanted to ask you too, is how did you deal with the disappointments of, when you were believing God for healing, or to move, and you didn't see him do that? Like when you asked God to heal him from his seizures, but yet and still he still was dealing with them. How did you deal with the different route God was taking?
I did. I really didn't deal with it. I was angry. I was like, you know what? Okay, really? I got to the point where I didn't want to hear him.
Mm,
I start running faster. First I'm here, I'm going straight, and then when that hit me, and then he started having them more and more, I went that way.
you
I
just
went
follow,
that way. I just
follow suit.
turned on down the road and was like, what, hear him. Why you won't even hear me? You can't hear my prayers. All I want is for him to be okay.
Mm,
And you're not hearing me. I need that for my son. And you know, I think I was running. I think I was driving to Chicago almost every weekend, and hanging out with my sister, just to avoid being by myself,
mm,
um, and living in that reality.
Wow.
trying to make light of things, and smile even a little bit more when you know you're on the inside and you're hurting.
Mm.
And I remember when I was in Chicago, an old friend of my mom, her name was Natalie. And she was there, and I hadn't seen her in so long. And she was like, Kawana, she's like, Kawana, I'm so proud of you. And, you're a single mom, and you send your son off to college, and I'm so proud of you. But let me tell you something, do what God asked you to do. And I'm looking at her like, ain't nobody asked her this. I didn't come out here and ask her,
Nice.
what God,
That's all this. Okay.
right. And now check this out. I said, she not even saved.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
So, and I went, and I went there, and, but he got my attention. He
Wow.
got away for me to hear what he had to say to me. And it
Mm.
was, do what I ask you to do.
Mm.
What are you doing? And she was like, God always had his hands on you. I've seen it when Jason was first born, how God was molding you. And I'm looking at her like, what is this lady talking about? I want to hear this stuff, you know?
But it always be those times. It's like, Lord, just leave me alone.
Right.
I'm trying to be in my corner.
I
Just
just want
let
to
me
be
go.
here by myself. Let me be me. God, I want to have some fun.
Okay.
Listen here, you know,
What do you
right? Slow down, slow down.
think?
But she reminded me, and it's like that day. I think I was like, okay, bye. I'm going home. I don't even want to deal with this. I'm
And I
driving.
go home.
Right. Look, I drove back to Wisconsin that night because I was like, I don't even want to hear what these people got to say.
Wow.
Okay, now I'm feeling guilty now. And then this the kicker. I think like 6 months later, she passed away.
Wow.
So I'm like, God was talking to her.
Wow.
God did have a message for me. Now it's time for me to scratch my head a little bit more and take heed to what he's saying to me, because I'm running and he's catching right on up with me. I'm not running from nobody because God is everywhere, and he's going to get his message delivered no matter what we do. If he has chosen you, you can't run, you can't hide, because God is going to fall in your face and he's going to present it right where you are. He will meet you in the middle. You know what I mean?
Amen.
He will just meet you there.
He will. He will. And that's, man, like there's just so much to this right now. Because first of all, he sent a ram in the bush that even though you didn't want the ram, but but that should show you, here we go back to God's love again, that
Hmm.
God loves his sons and he loves his daughters, especially when there is purpose on your life. He's
Yeah.
not going to allow you to continue to make mistake after mistake. He's not going to continue to let you wander into your own pity parties, as we like to do, or throw off fits, or whatever the case may be, that we're going to go try to fill this void, we're going to go fix it, but yet you have this big old God above you, like, yeah, good luck.
Look, you keep standing right there. You go ahead. Go
Right,
ahead. Do what you gonna do.
right. But I think the biggest thing too is that when he does send that wake up call, that you wake up,
Yes.
that you don't allow your emotions, because I know you talked about how you said you were feeling angry, you were feeling like I just want to be left alone,
Right.
and those are real and those are valid. We don't want to be hearing what saith the Lord at that time. Ain't nobody trying to hear
Right.
nothing about church, okay?
Right. You
Lord,
look, go get your life. Look, I got mine. Go get yours because I don't want to hear
right?
you
Like,
talking about
first
this.
of all, like you said, you're like, and she ain't even saved, and then you'd be like, let's start there, okay?
Right.
Let's be honest, you know.
Right.
But that's, like I said, that's how amazing God is, and how
Yes.
he can get your attention. He can, like I said, make you wake up and to see. But like I said, you were obedient. You were awakened by that to say, okay, yeah, let me figure this thing out, and really do what I guess I'm called to do.
Exactly.
And so, but this also proves too that there's a cost to calling. I don't care what God calls you to, and what you have to do for Him. There is a cost, and sometimes that cost takes you through these different stages of
Yes,
life, and you, like I said, you dealt with the confusion, you dealt with, is this me, is it not me, that whole identity thing, and
yes,
then and then you accept it and you're like, okay, now what? But then now when you try to run, you're like, nothing's happening, nothing's moving, and then all of a sudden this person comes and is like, yeah, remember that calling, you still got it.
right.
And leave you.
Look, where you going? You ain't going nowhere. You're not going nowhere.
That's right. Can't pass go. Can't collect $200 until you say yes. Until you say yes. But
Right.
but that's the thing, is that God doesn't let you just shake it off. He won't let you quit. And what I love though about this book, man, y'all, just you gotta get the book,
You
okay?
gotta get it.
Information's right here on the screen. Get the book, because this shows you that God does not leave anything undone, or he everything that you've been through, he used.
Yes, yes,
Like all the tears, all
yes,
the crying, all the frustrating, all the madness, like everything you went through, he has used for his
yes,
glory.
yes,
And
yes, yes, yes.
how do you feel about that now? Like how does that help you as you are now writing and now being inspiring to others?
It keeps me in awe.
Wow.
It keeps me on pins and needles. Can I say that? And the
Yeah.
reason I'm saying pins and needles because um, I don't know what to expect. I just know that whatever he's about to do is
Mm,
going to be amazing.
mm,
Man, it's going to be breathtaking, and
mm.
it's going to be a sight to see. You know, I think that I get nervous of the growth. That growth of where he's going to take me, and so I do get, I do want to tiptoe, and I do want to just go hide from time to time, um, and um, and get lost, but that loss is not going to do any good for me. Just trying to be obedient and stand on the path that God has for me, because this journey is not easy.
Mm.
But I'll tell you this, it is just worth it.
Amen. Amen. Wow. That, oh, I'm about to cry.
No, you're not, Liz. Whatever.
Because that's real. I'm gonna say for myself, that's real. Like it's when you get to that, it's like almost like the finish line. It's not the finish line, but it's like, okay, I graduated kind of situation. And it's like,
Yes.
wow, God, I made it. And I see you now. I feel you now. And so like I said, I hope whoever is going through whatever stage of your purpose journey for God and what he's calling you to, that just know everything's going to be worth it. Everything, like I said, and I got this from Bishop Jakes, is that he doesn't leave anything left over. Like he's going to use everything you've been through. He's going to use everything that you've endured. Like I said, every tear, every heartbreak,
Yes.
every anger, every emotion, because I think it's so powerful when people have said, yeah, I've been angry with God, but yet still you're still here.
Mhm.
Yeah, and still you're still serving him. So what was that process like? Because I do feel like that sometimes too. And is it okay to feel that way? And how do I come out of it? Like these are real things, and life is real. I don't know about anybody else out there,
But
but
it is, and then this is my favorite part. And then I'm gonna be quiet.
no,
But
you're good. Go
so
ahead.
so you know, say told me not to question the Lord. You can't ask him any questions, especially
Mhm.
when you're angry. You don't go to him in that way.
My God.
Well, I did, because I was angry, and it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to ask him questions. You just got to be prepared for the answer that he's going to give you.
Mhm.
You just got to be prepared for it.
Oh, ma'am. Say it again. You just gotta be prepared for the answer he's gonna give you.
You got to be
And
prepared.
You really do got to. And that is so true. We may not like it at the time, but I'm telling you, all things work together for the good. I think somebody posted that in the comments. Like, but it's so true. Like,
Yes.
all things do work together for the good. Like I said, everything you have, God is going to use somehow, some way.
Yes.
And but like you said, you gotta be ready for His answer. You gotta be ready to know, like, and I think that goes back to even the question when I was asking you, like, how do you deal with what you were asking for, but God did something else? That's all in going back to that. Like, you just got to get in alignment of His plan and His thoughts for you, and all this stuff will work out for His glory. So, um, what encouragement do you have? Because it's already an hour, girl. You
I
see?
know, right? And I did, and I was so nervous about this, and that
Y'all,
hour just swimmed on by. And then
she was so nervous, and I think we might have to do a part two. Put a one if you think we should do a part two,
right, please let us
because
know.
we haven't even got. I don't even think we got through half of the book.
We did. We're still like in chapter 3, I think, of the book, 3 or 4 in the book.
We
And
didn't
so
even hit it yet. So, yes, put a one if you think we should do part two. Maybe we'll do that when her schedule clears up. Maybe before the year ends, if I have time. We'll have to look at schedules, but
yeah.
um, I'm telling you all, you got to get this book. Like I said, tonight we're going to give one away. Let's see, we got, from my view, I see 20 viewers. So, Kat, you can pick the number between 1 and 50. Don't tell me. We're going to have everybody choose a number between 1 and 50, and whoever chooses the number you have in your mind will get the book. Okay.
Okay, okay. So you want me to give out the number now?
No, not yet. We'll give
Okay,
them a
okay,
minute because I
okay.
think there's a delay because I still see people putting ones up. So,
I'm just saying, and that's funny because I wasn't really looking at this, and then I'm like, oh, look at people. Okay.
yeah, see, look at all these ones. All right. So, like I said, y'all, if you would like a copy, to be blessed with a copy of the book tonight, let me know. Or choose a number between 1 and 50. That is, choose a number between 1 and 50, and you could be the one to get blessed with this copy of the book. If not, if you do not get blessed, here is the information on the screen. Email her and Cash App her, and she will mail you out your copy of the book. Once again, ma'am, thank you so much tonight for all that you have poured out to us. Like I said, I'm so excited for part two. Like, you have no idea.
I'm ready for part 2, but Liz, I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to be here on this pedestal with you tonight. It was an honor to just have this discussion with you. And yesterday, the conversation we had yesterday was just so lovely, and I just was
Right?
feeling it. And so listen, it is a great book. Um, so please purchase.
Yeah, be a blessing. And
Yes.
you know somebody that needs to hear something like this, definitely be a blessing to them as well. So, all right. So I see the numbers have stopped. So you go ahead and tell me what it is, or tell the people what you chose, and whoever is closest will get that copy.
I'm going to go with the number. So Jason would be 21. So we're going to go with number 21.
All right. Okay. Let's see if we have
Do we have
anybody
a 21?
there. 21. We had a 15. We had a 22. It looks like we got one that's
22 may be
close.
the one.
So yeah, it looks like Charlie Davis, you are our lucky winner.
Go, girl.
So go ahead and DM me here on this Tea Time for Liz page. And I will get your information to Kat so we can get that book out to you
Yes.
this week. So congratulations. God bless you. Enjoy the book. Make sure you all are following her here on I was about to say Periscope. Jesus, we're not on Periscope.
No, I'm not on Periscope yet. No, no, no.
But follow her here on Facebook. She goes by Catland.
Yes.
And are you anywhere else that they can follow you?
Instagram, Cat,
Okay.
it's still under Catland or Elijah's 46. Um, hit me up, I am me, or what is it, DM, or I am,
No,
but
Instabox
I'm here.
download, all of that. All that. Follow her, you all follow her. Let her know if you, when you get the book, how God's blessed you, inspired you. Just be an encouragement
Yes.
to her as well. And before I go, I also wanted to give a shout out to Elder Gregory Birch, who is allowing me to share his platform this week. I'm so blessed and honored. This Friday, follow me and follow him as well. We will be doing after Thanksgiving hour of power.
Awesome.
The Lord has definitely given me a word to share with everybody. I'm excited, called Suddenly. So stay tuned for that. It will be 5:30 on Friday evening. So follow, like I said, I'll post it here on Facebook. For you all to follow on my page or on the Tea Time, but also follow Elder Birch as well in his ministry. I'm so grateful for that platform. I wanted to put that plug in. But once again, thank you, ma'am, so much tonight. It is
Yes,
awesome. Thank you all for tuning in to Tea Time with Leah.
yes, everyone.
And hope you all have a blessed and happy Thanksgiving. I am so grateful for all of you for just inspiring me to keep going. And hope you all are being blessed by this platform as well. So happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you next Monday. God
Have
bless.
a good night. God bless.